Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Gimmick, the second episode for November 2025. As always, and scaredly, I am the Canadian Nightmare, Travis Snell. I'm joined by Live and Let Dom, David. I saw the name when I came in. You popped me. I was like, oh, that's a good one. Yeah. How's it
So,
going?
going good. I had a couple of names on deck. Most of them did revolve around Dirty Dominic Mysterio, so that's the one that I chose to go with. But yeah, no, I'm doing good. I got it. I didn't get a chance to watch the pay per view live, but I did get a chance to watch it, and I'm excited to talk about it because I didn't get to talk about it with you guys live in the Discord.
Yeah, we have, and even I watched it only half live, so we didn't. We're kind of spread out, so we'll see what happens. And then joined by Cena Fears, Roxanne, S Bubs, pimping the, Roxanne's still in Cena's moves. Hit him with his own
Yeah,
code red everywhere. But how's it going today, sir?
good.
Okay, so yeah, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to talk about Survivor Series, the review of that. We're also probably going to have a longer conversation about some of the WrestleMania stuff because there's been some rumors and obviously guys have some stuff. So we'll probably start the men's war game and see how that goes. And then for AEW, we'll talk a little fallout from Full Gear, but mostly Continental Classic with our predictions of who we think would be finals and the winner of that, and the women's tag, and then whatever else comes up. I'm sure Jericho will come up at some point in this podcast. Always does. Not that there's no news, but I just feel like almost every Gimmick, there's some bad booking scenario. Is he the mystery man? I don't know. But David, I'll go with you because you're the most fresh off it. You watched it early this morning. What do you think of Survivor Series? Obviously, 4-match card, but you got some big things, the two big war games, Bella and Stephanie Vakir, and then Cena's last PLE match ever. So obviously some big stuff, even though just 4 matches, some longer stuff. So what did you think of the show overall?
Overall, I thought it was a good show. It was a very paint by numbers, but it was still fun. There was fun spots, especially in both War Games matches. There was an interesting spot in the men's. Like I was still trying to wrap my head around how that fell within the rules, and they did their best to try and explain that. I really loved the Dom and Cena match. Like that was out of all of them, that was my favorite bell to bell match, not just spots, but just favorite bell to bell match. And the women's championship, I felt like was a chance to put a big name under Stephanie Vakir's title. Other than that, it was 4-match card, and they did what they could with the minutes that they had. And so yeah, it was fun. Nothing to write home about, but it was fun.
Yeah. What about you, S Bubs?
Yeah, I enjoyed the show. I thought all the matches sort of. I'm trying to think, because I don't really know what my expectations were going in. I think I'd say, I don't think for the men's war game, so I think for the first 3 matches, they all exceeded my expectations, at least a little bit. Um, and overall, I thought it was a good show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm in line where I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it. I wasn't like overly negative on anything, and then I wasn't overly like positive on anything. Oh my god, excuse me, the throat god's coming for me. Of course, it's my turn. You know what? I'm gonna find some water before I die live on air. Jesus Christ. No, so yeah, I think it was a good show. It's interesting to watch because like I said, I watched in halves where I watched the first 2 matches live. And then I had a Christmas party, so I had to watch it after the fact. And I guess we'll probably start with the men's war game, where I went on a wild ride with that because I've said this before and Tress told you, to try to like not go on social media too much. What I do is I have notifications on some accounts. And one of them is WrestlePira, so whenever they tweet, I can get a notification. I will mute it. I should have, but like I guess I wasn't worried. The 2 matches were Stephanie and Nikki, and even the men's war game. Even though we talked about in the Discord where the go home was for the bad guys, I was like, I still think the bad guys are taken, and they did. But on Wrestle Purist, when I'm seeing like the highlights, everything, other than the mystery attacker, which I just Triple H loves spam. We talk about TK spams. Triple H loves spamming mystery attackers. Like I can't with Jacob, right? I was like, man, I really hope it's not a mystery attacker. I hope it's just, hey, no, Drew McIntyre took him out. I did that. I want a title shot, but now we still don't know who attacked Jacob. At some point, will, but he
The
loves.
only one they did like that was like Becky, where they revealed
Yes,
it like 2 days
the week
or like
after.
a week after. Yeah, she's like, I attacked Bailey.
Yeah, because she like they
Yeah.
But
lost
that's
on
probably
Raw.
just
Yeah.
her doing it. Like, I'm just gonna say it was like, I don't think they could tell her you're gonna do the mystery attack
Ye-
angle. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
And even then too, like she attacked Lyra the day after they lost. It's like we
yeah.
kind of know who the mystery attacker is, you know, like that's pretty easy. So it's fine, and I'll still talk about who it is. That doesn't have me excited, but with the men's, other than that, I'm seeing all these highlights. Like, oh, this looks like tons of fun. I'm excited to go watch it. And then when I go into my timeline, it was just like this is the worst War Games match of all time, and I was like, what's going on? Like, so I watched it, and to me, I thought it was like a fun, good match. I don't think it was like amazing, but I also don't think people. I agree with some people that it didn't go on as long and it was maybe a bit anticlimactic at the end, but people were talking about this was like Warrior like going into like a smoke dust back in WCW. Like, I think it's because, and we've seen this time with AEW too. I think right now with Cena and some of the things Triple H has made, I think the wrestling community is just like they got their knives out for Triple H right now. And don't get me wrong, I don't say like not he doesn't deserve it for some stuff, but right now I just felt like okay, this is like a fine stuff. Do I need Jey Uso's entrance in the War Games? No, like that should be happening. Like it's like that's the tough thing where they are trying to preview this. It feels like this was like Hell in a Cell a couple of years ago, where they're like, oh, this is a really deadly device and it's really dangerous. But then you got Jey Uso and everybody bumping, having a good time. Where Hell in a Cell, they try to make dangers again, right? So I thought it was, I thought it was good enough. I didn't know what I was expecting, but like I had a good enough time watching. There's a few fun interactions. There's a couple spots that didn't make sense. There are a couple spots in the men one that not didn't make sense. I'm just curious about of how they're going to work forward. And then in the men or the women's we'll talk about. I think there's just like kind of some clunk or some bad spots where it just didn't work out. But yeah, so the men's we talked about the heels. They got the win. Team, I guess were they Team Vision, right? That's what they were. They were just a Vision.
Yeah,
Or
I
were
don't
they?
think they had any specific name.
Yeah, like Logan Paul's not officially in this group, right?
No.
No,
I don't think so, because they announced like it's like Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, The Vision, and Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar.
Okay, so that's good. So we got that going on, and they get the win. They pin. It was Braun Breaker pinning CM Punk, like you said a couple of weeks ago.
That was like my original. Like when we fantasy booked all the way to Mania. I think wasn't mine the. I think I had. I don't know if I had Punk and Braun at Mania, but I definitely remember having Braun pinning Punk at like in War Games. Well, I think that's before we knew that it was going to be NXT on Cena's show, so I had Cena versus Punk at that show.
Yeah, and
I had
Braun
Punk
and
versus
Braun. Yeah,
Braun.
they're running back. Cena versus Punk sneaking in.
Triple threat was good there. He just skips the whole tournament.
Yeah, and that like, I guess what I'm curious about, because we talked about this last week, right? Because I thought same thing where we talked about Punk's reign, how long is he going to hold and everything. I thought, okay, yeah, Punk and Braun would make sense at WrestleMania, but then we talked about how there was rumors of Braun and Lesnar. We'll see, because it's Dave putting out there, but even Heyman was like, oh well, this is going to be the future to WrestleMania, right? I guess what I'm confused about is I'm fine with Braun beating Punk. That should be the way it goes. But like Nikki Bella just turned on Stephanie Vakir. She lost like 5 matches in a row, but she turns on her, gets a title shot. I'm just wondering how in kayfabe Braun pins Punk and doesn't like get a title shot immediately after. Like in the world that they've set up, like how do they don't? And it's either. For me, it's does he get a shot and he loses, and they do the Sami Zayn Intercontinental thing where he loses his first try and then gets again later. I don't really want that.
He like loses like at the Royal Rumble. He challenges Punk, loses the match, enters the Royal Rumble, and wins.
Well, yeah, like I don't want them to run back the Sami Zayn like he loses first then wins it a month later. I don't want that, and then also it just feels weird that. It feels like you can't also keep Punk and Braun apart that long. Like I feel like it'll be an overbuild. Like by the time you get to Mania, you'll be like, okay, let's just get the match already. So I'm kind of confused.
In that case, it'd have to
happening.
be like if it was like a multi-match series, like ending at Mania or something like that.
Yeah,
or like their second matches at Mania, and they have like a third one at like Backlash or something.
Yeah, I don't love that. So like, and obviously we could, who knows, right? Because even this is why I always walk like. Tentatively, because remember at this time last year the plan was just Punk and Roman 1-on-1, and then that turned into Seth, right? So it's like, and we're talking about Cody and Roman. Even then, I can't fully believe it till we're like in the February time. Same thing, the Cena heel turn that wasn't planned till a couple weeks after, right? So it's like until we get to February, I can't believe those rumors. Same thing as Rio and Bianca, right? That was the original plan, and then Io snuck her way in there and got the win, right? That Sean Ross Sapp reported that they were doing that. So that's the thing. And there was another one too that SRS had put out there. I'm not saying it was wrong, just that they had changed it. So it's like, who knows? But yeah, David, how are you feeling about Braun and Punk if that is the Mania plan? How do we get there?
If we're gonna get there, then if they're gonna have a straight up brawl, then you got to have Braun go over. Only reason I say that is because Braun is not the battle from behind type of character. That's not how you have built him up. So he can't do the Sammy, he can't do the Jey Uso, he can't do the constantly losing and then finally gets the big win on WrestleMania. Like, he has to have a dominant win because that's how you set him up. So I don't
Squash this Punk. Just
I don't
1 minute, one spear, done.
I don't know how you keep them apart long enough for that to happen,
Yeah.
unless you throw somebody else into the mix who's coming in to challenge Punk, and maybe he attacks Braun Breaker, they feud, or somebody feuds with Punk to keep Braun Breaker just kind of at bay for a little bit until you get to that point. But their match needs to be a one-on-one, and it needs to happen pretty soon, unless you're going to have just a couple of more instances of them brawling out and Braun being just Braun. But yeah, they need to have the big spot where he does the bouncing off the ropes, spear, everything else. He's got to have a dominant win in his. Again, you can't pull the Jey Uso, you can't pull the Sami Zayn, the fighting from behind. Eventually I'm gonna get there. I have enough fight in me. I'm gonna keep coming back. And God forbid you guys pull the Dolph Ziggler and the keep coming.
Yeah.
So
no, I don't. Yeah, I agree with you. I think like I don't want the series of match. I guess the only way that I think, because I imagine, I don't know, because I was gonna say Punk and Logan Paul should be next. I imagine they've still been setting up a few times, but again, I just don't understand in kayfabe how Braun Breaker's not like I get a shot. I wonder if they do like the Seth, Brock, Cena, like 18 triple. I think it's 2008. No, I'm way late.
No, it's like
2012, right?
That's
No,
like
14. It's 14.
Or
Yeah.
yeah.
I wonder if you
It's
do that, where you
15,
do something.
I think.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
2015.
Yeah, 14 is when Punk leaves, and then yeah, so yeah, you're right. It's 15. I wonder if I could be fine with that if they did like this is a wild combo, but like a Punk Braun Paul match, and Paul and Braun kind of like screw each other out of it because they're both kind of selfish. Because I think you can have them interact there. I'm fine with that happening if it's triple threat. If you can get someone else in, I just don't know if I want Braun and Punk before Mania. That should be the first time. I agree with you, Dave. Like, definitely, Punk should not be going over in that match. Like, I know we should probably get Punk a win at Mania here at some point soon, but like Braun, that's a perfect time
I
to
feel
put
like
Braun
they're
over.
calling like he's like, and it's like that kind of has to be the main event if they're gonna keep calling him like he's like the future of WrestleMania main events for 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
yeah.
It like that's you're not wrong. It probably would be. I still think to me that's the night that women main event. Like don't get me wrong. I think like Braun has the juice, but I don't think he has nearly the juice that like if you have Rhea versus Stephanie Vakir. Like I guess it's a similar comparison, but I just feel like there's bigger matchups with the women that would oversee that. Obviously, we talk about Roman and Cody. Nothing's gonna oversee that. Like that'll go on
no,
last.
that's like night
two.
two.
That, yeah, like we know where that's going, barring an injury, right?
Neither Roman or Cody could show up for that entire build, and they would get the night two main event.
Absolutely, yeah. They'll do one promo night after Rumble, and then never see him again. They'll be promoting Street Fighter, and then no, you're absolutely right. So that's why it's just like I think you're right that because they have been saying it, Braun and Punk could go on last, but I could see a women's match. Like to me, that's a prime time. Like Punk and Braun. I don't know. Like yeah. I am interested to see how they get there. And also a worry is like I wonder. Well, no, I was gonna say something, but no, I take that back. I guess Braun wins, and then Raw after Mania, you just have Seth beat the hell out of him, right? Like that's how you get there right away.
Or if you're not gonna do like. Because I could see like them doing if the Brock match was supposed to happen at Mania, they could do like, well, actually, I don't know, because I feel like Brock, he's not doing like a backlash. That'd be like a SummerSlam. Well,
Big
actually,
payday.
the thing
Saudi
is,
backlash, he would. But
something people haven't pointed out is next year's is like in Minneapolis. Isn't Brock from
he is
like
from
next
Minnesota.
SummerSlam? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's like that's gonna be like his retirement match. Is the thing people are thinking, like SummerSlam in Minnesota.
That's next
That-
year.
That
He
that
ain't
money's too good
retiring
for
next year,
that money's
yeah.
too good for Brock. They're still throwing it at him now.
He-
But
Two-
either
he'll
way, I
get-
feel like that's where if they do the Braun Brock match, could be at that SummerSlam. If it was planned for Mania.
I could see that
Because I was gonna say, you could, like, the thing I was gonna say is like, oh, like Brock attacks him Raw after Mania, but then I feel like that would be like, and then like he doesn't show up until SummerSlam.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
they'll
that's
do
Seth.
that after a future. Event.
I think that's Seth's big return, and I even could see the backlash being Seth, Punk, and Braun, like in a triple threat or something at first,
Yeah, and
because
Austin
I'm
Theory.
kind of I'm kind of hoping when Seth comes back, he's like an ultimate tweener, because I really don't want the Edge John Cena face turn of like, sorry, I was a dick. Let's get back to what we were doing. Like, I don't want that. Like, Seth was full on bad guy. I'd like it if he was just like, I hate CM Punk. I hate Braun Breaker. I'm gonna beat you both. Like, and then I think then you could like naturally make him a babyface again when people are liking him. But I don't want him to come back and like sing my song. Like,
After his Brett Kirshner interview that he just had, where people say that he came off like a real dick, and I listened to part of it, and he does come off super arrogant. You can't bring Seth back babyface right now because that just doesn't fit. Now, I could see a situation where if Seth isn't this mystery person, whoever that is will feud with Punk to keep Braun off, or
oh God, don't pick. If it's Austin Theory, you're pitching me Austin Theory and CM Punk feud.
you know they'll do it. Or I could see a situation where Logan Paul cashes in with Paul Heyman saying, "Hey, you have to get me a title shot
another
because
favorite storyline
Yes.
with Paul Heyman." Yeah,
because that makes sense for Logan Paul to say, "Hey, the only reason I helped you guys out was because I was promised a title shot. So, Braun, I don't care if you pinned him or not. I'm up next." And Paul Heyman giving Braun the whole, "We got this. Wait your time. You're going to be the next champion. You know, we just had to do this." And
you
then
could literally do Reed as well too as a challenger for the month too, right? Like that's 3 to 4 big PLEs or big events like Saturday nights. Like if you do Austin Theory, CM Punk, if you do not that there were title matches.
Austin Theory's getting the Saturday night's main event one. Logan and Bronson, you know, they get Rumble, they get Chamber. Austin Theory's getting that Saturday night's main event.
I don't know.
Austin Theory's getting an impromptu Raw match just because Adam Pearce got pissed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then Punky. I wouldn't mind Elimination Chamber if they run back another I can't remember. I think they did it on TLC. Obviously, have some couple other people there, but if you have a chamber where it's Punk defending the title and it's Reed, Paul, and Theory, and that's part of the storyline is these 3 guys are just going to make sure he loses and he doesn't, but Braun's going to wait in the wings. Like, I don't know what you do there. So it's just, I do think it's going to be. Yeah, I just hope they got some good writers ready, because if it's just Punk versus Vision from now until April, it's gonna be a long time. You know, that's gonna be that we're gonna be cooking. I guess not cooking. We're gonna be mildly warm, I think. So, yeah, jeez. Yeah. So then I guess we'll talk about the actual match, then we'll come back to the other Mania match. But that's how it did end. And yeah, a couple spots that I wanted to shout out was very surprised. I'll put this on producers because they should be watching things. I was very surprised when Cody Rhodes' entrance that they did the exact same spot that AJ and Becky did. Like, no one was like caught that, but I like that they clocked the Punk and Drew feud, that they kind of tied that back. I think that was good. Braun coming in, or Bronson doing all the tsunamis was good.
He was doing some extra height on, like he was, because usually he just like falls forward. These when he is, it's like fully jumping up and dropping on people.
It's the first time since he broke his leg that he's done a full jump, because he's been doing the Snoop Dogg land on your feet for a while since he broke his leg. This is the first time he was getting some height on those.
1 year anniversary, so it's gonna go all out, you know. And then they had Brock come out, which I didn't mind because David, I actually bought their reasoning for, you know what, the War Games hasn't started yet. He can come out. I was completely fine with that.
I had forgotten that it hadn't started yet. I was like, one of these referees needs to get up to Brock and tell him he can't leave.
They did explain it away. My theory was that someone watched Blood and Guts and was like, "Hey, maybe we should do some outside of the cage stuff too. How do we get away with this?"
Well, the only thing that I couldn't stand was I was getting PTSD when it was just a full minute of Roman just Superman punching Brock. I was like, oh my god, like he's looking like the big dog. He was cocking the fist over and over, and then like fun spot. He's F5s and everything, but I got massive PTSD to those last two Manias. So yeah, we got that, and I'm trying to think there was a couple other spots. There was.
I liked when Roman got the brass knuckles for the super.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
I liked that. So
that was good. I did like this spot with Cody and Punk where he elbows him and it was an accident, but again they came back to that at the end of the match where Cody's standing up and he's wanting to join in on the handshakes, and Punk's like, dude, you elbowed me earlier. Don't think I forgot about that. So
then he smiled though. So I felt like Punk was like, he kind of broke a little bit there. Yeah, I kind of wish they did more. I think that's one thing where the elbow happened. I think I wish with how it ended with the teams kind of being, well, it actually wasn't. It just felt like it was the Bloodline and Punk just looking at Cody being like, you kind of screwed up. And I wish they kind of, like, I didn't understand. I felt like the men's babyface, they should have had more moments where they didn't get along and really felt like they screwed it up. And they should have done, if that's what they're doing, because they have this moment where Roman tries to lift Cody up and he's thinking about it. Cody's like, no, I'm going to do it myself. I wish they actively made Cody kind of screw. Like, I kind of wish the elbow to Punk is what, like, ended the match. Like, somehow, like, that was the decider, right? And it really wasn't. Or even if, like, Cody had a chair and accidentally hit Punk, it just kind of felt like there was very fake drama for nothing, which you could easily play up in this moment. Or even if Cody hit Roman accidentally or Roman Spirit, like, I just thought there was a little bit more meat on the bone they kind of left there, where it just feels like the Cody Roman stare down was for, like, the internet crowd of, like, hey, you guys know in real life they're both trying to be number one. It's like, you haven't told that story in a while in WWE, right? Cody and Roman haven't really interacted. They did that promo on Raw, but that was more Punk heavy. They haven't interacted since they teamed together. So I just felt they could have done a bit more iffiness with the teams together.
Yeah.
So
another missed opportunity, I think, was you've had the stuff with Jey Uso and him, being arrogant and wanting to be like the new tribal chief. I thought you missed an opportunity where it's him, Jimmy, and Roman in the ring, and Roman is giving Jey an instruction to help him with something. Jimmy's giving Jey an instruction to do something, and you see that whole, am I going to go with my brother, or am I going to follow in the shadow of the tribal chief? Having those little moments right there just to kind of continue on with Jay's character, because his only real moment was the yeeting through the top of the steel cage, which again was weird. Everyone's stopping, CM Punk playing air guitar, and you expect me to think all these warriors are just lying around while this guy yeets, going, what? Oh, well, Brock Lesnar's going to come in and get you soon, so it's okay. We'll just lay here for a minute. That was probably the worst spot to me of this whole thing, was the mid-cage match yeet fest.
well, yeah, and I agree with you, because it was weird. Because when Jey Uso first came in, he's super kicking everybody, and he wrestles for about like 2 or 3 minutes. And commentary mentions, lately he's been going through some shit, So like, okay, that's gonna play into it. It didn't at all. It felt like the Jey that was wrestling right now was the same Jey from last year. Did not feel like the guy that's been having this like turmoil. So it was weird that they didn't even do one spot. So just like that's what it felt like. It just felt like when I said earlier it was short. It just felt like there was stuff that they could have done. Like let's just like get to the finish. Like it just felt a little off that way. Where the actual content of the match, I didn't mind with, like, we talked about the brass knuck spot or other things, or there's a good moment I liked where Brock has Jimmy up or Jay for this, like the F5, and Roman spears them both. But same thing. I thought that was going to be something where Jay might say like, oh hey, like, I know what you were doing, but you kind of took me out too. Like, are you fine with me getting hurt?
That specific spot, they were building it for, because it looked like he was going to do a Superman punch. I thought, Brock was gonna like move out of the way and like Roman was gonna
Hit
spear
Jay.
Jay, but
Yeah,
he just speared both of them.
yeah, and nothing happened. Jay was like, "Yeah, I'm cool with it." You know, like it's just, yeah, I don't know. There was just missed spots by whoever's producing, and it's because I think these spots would go into stuff, or maybe they're just dropping the Jay thing. Maybe like, you know what, and maybe they could
I
be
feel
right.
like
Maybe
it hasn't really
Yeah.
been mentioned like
yeah.
since the title match with Punk. Like after that, he was just like he did the Edge and John Cena thing. Like I was being a dick, guys. Sorry.
Well, exactly, and that's where it feels now because we talked about this even last week if Roman and Cody was going to happen. Before we are talking about okay, maybe it was Cody and someone else, Cody and Punk. We thought that might not work. Now, if the plan was to do the Roman Jay thing, we kind of see where it was maybe going, right? Which I don't get me wrong, the Roman Cody thing scares me, but like I don't think Roman and Jay would be that great of a WrestleMania like that. I don't. That to me is. I have very little interest in that, but that could have been it. Where hey, we were going that route, but now Roman's doing something else at Mania. So just you know what, just get the Usos back together. They need to get them wins because they lost to Drew and Logan. Like they need to get some top wins right now, and maybe that's what you do for Mania. It's just like you make that the big moment that they win the tag titles for the first time in like 2 years or something like that, right? Like I think the last time they had it was 39. Maybe I'm wrong when they versed Sammy and KO.
Yeah, I don't think they've
Usos?
won since the Sami Zayn and KO match.
Yeah, because they
That's-
lost it there and then they broke up not that long after, right? The Usos. So that's been like what 3 years since they won tag titles, right? Like that
Yeah.
you can make that into a big deal. You can like you get the right team, you can make that into something. So just don't make it New Day. So, but yeah, we did talk about that where. So at the end, like I said, yeah, Roman picks Punk up, which again, it's just like I never know. They did. I had this issue last year. You listen to the review. I had this issue this year. I don't know why Roman and Punk are always just like, yeah, we're cool. Like always at the end, they're just like, it just bugs the shit out of me too. Just because there's like with so much real life drama there, right? But it's like, okay, the Z-Bros, they're fine. You know, even then, like I wish Punk did something again to save him, but he didn't. But they're fine. Cool. He picks him up. Roman's thinking about picking up Cody, he doesn't, and then they stare off. Bad way for the crowd because when they walk away, lots of boos because the crowd was expecting something to happen and nothing did. It just ended on this like kind of sour note. And they got on the other side of the ring, and Roman's like, "We'll never team together ever." And I don't know what Cody said. I think Cody was just like, "Yeah, there's not happening. I don't know what.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody clock that, but yeah, that seems to be. I guess Paul Heyman said, "Hey, Survivor Series, you're going to see a lot of stuff go down." That will allude to what's happening in Mania. Other scoopers have said, yeah, it's going to be very similar. And then, lo and behold, at the end of this, we get the stare down between Cody and Roman. And we did talk about this last week as like a possibility. I didn't think it was going to happen just because we've always heard that there is a lot of politics backstage as far as like we did hear that Roman said he wouldn't want Cody on the team unless that match was happening, and I do think there's a version where Cody's like, yeah, the match is happening, but like I'm waiting till we get closer to Mania to see if this actually happens because don't get me wrong, this is a big like if you're looking for a big one-on-one match, this is massive to do. Roman Cody 3, they're both more popular than ever, especially Roman. So it's just like
especially if they both don't have like. Because the first one was like all like Roman run-ins.
yes.
The second one was like all Cody run-ins. This one, if they do like the one-on-one match, like with no one else involved.
But that to me is going to be where the hang-up is, though, with Cody. Because don't get me wrong, I love Cody Rhodes. I was a big, obviously, fan of his dad. I was a big fan of him. Got back in Indies when he left. I followed New Japan, started AEW, and started the love there, Elite, all that stuff, right? That really got me back into that type of wrestling. I love Cody. He's my guy in WWE. If this match happens, he's losing. He's taking the 1, 2, 3. Because here's the thing, and David will know this too, where years ago, and this happened many times, right? But when Sting came to WWE, they're very happy, put him all these video games and everything like that. And then they're doing Sting and Triple H. And I was okay, cool. And they're doing this build, and the whole build is Sting is trying to take down Triple H and Stephanie because they're the authority and they're the bad guys. And then on the Go Home show, for some reason, Stephanie McMahon cuts this promo about how WWE beat WCW. And it was like, this has not been a part of the build at all whatsoever. And when you watch that match, obviously it becomes NWO versus DX, and Sting's somewhere in the middle, which is fine. That's a fun nostalgia thing, right? And I don't think this is like a WWE versus AEW thing. But the thing is, if I'm talking to like a loyalist or someone in the company, you got Roman Reigns, the guy who sat there and went through all the shit of the dog food and the big dog and being the the third guy in the Shield to being booed to like obviously where he is now, but still he stayed all that way, did the bloodline where you got the guy who left, started another company, took a lot of shots at everybody. I think it's all good. He's still QB1 and everything like that, but still. You're telling me in this match, because like Esbub said, the first two matches had different stories. It was, okay, the first match is can Cody overcome Roman Reigns' long title run, right? And then the second match is can he overcome the bloodline? This match is just who's the best. There'll be no interference. Yeah. There'll be nothing. And if it's who's the best, the big dog is not taking that pin. I'll pizza bet anybody would take the bet. I don't think there's any chance, barring an injury, Cody Rhodes is winning that match, because to me that becomes who is the greatest of this generation, right? And as much as I love Cody, they're gonna make that's
Cody
gonna
win if he turned heel.
Well, that's the only thing, right? That it all depends on
knocks down the ref, pulls out the sledgehammer on the big dog.
It depends when, right? If it's before the build, like the Cena thing, no. Cody's still dead in the water. It's some fun. And don't get me wrong, like that could be fun. I
need to beat you, Roman.
and again, if you were to pitch me, that's the plan for WrestleMania 42 and 43. That'd be great. It'd be like a reverse Roman Cody, right? Where everyone's kind of, not everyone, but like everyone's hoping Cody's going to win.
Roman fighting off, Sean Spears and Ricky
Saints, yeah, and whoever else comes from AEW, and that get Brandy in there as well. She can take a Superman punch, but like that, and that's how you get women in the bloodline. Naomi can be there, Nia Jax, but I would be completely fine if they market it as like, oh, who's the best? And it ends with Cody cheating, because that's such a great dick heel move of, man, this was supposed to be finally 1-on-1, and you did that. And then 43 is Roman getting the big win. Like I said, if you flip them, and then one day you can do Roman Cody 5. Like, it's right there. But I don't think it would be. And that's my only thing. I think this is a big match. I just don't know if this becomes the greatest of generation type of matchup. It does feel like a bit early. It feels like this should be still a couple more years, unless it's like, I suppose, where there's a twist. If it is just 1-on-1, that's it.
Travis Scott come out, but he's on Cody's side.
Yeah, I'm making good this time, Like, but if there is no twist, to me, it just feels like, I don't know if this is the time to beat, like, Cody Rhodes as a babyface. I know people talk about the SmackDown ratings or the houses. Brother, if Roman gets that title, they're not going to be any better, because he's going to be gone for 4 months. And that's my also hang up before I throw these two. It's just like, why I'll still cheer Cody's, because he's still there almost every week, right? Roman, unless he's like, hey, I'm back, I'm going to be back at least 3 out of 4 weeks of a month, I'm fine with that. Let the big dog have a week off, that's fine. But if it is this thing where he's gone for a bit, I got no interest. To me, that's not like, you're not the greatest of this like decade right now, because it's like, yeah, it's easy to come back and get the big pops when everyone misses you. Cody's there every week dealing with fucking SmackDown, right? Where Roman is like, well, I'm going to come in, do a couple things and get Tsunami through a table, and then I'll be gone, and then you'll miss me, right? Like, flip it. Let's have Roman for a year, wrestle a whole year, and have Cody come back every once in a while. I'm sure people are going to love Cody, right? I don't think it's all just that, but I have no interest in Roman winning the title and then just being gone here and there. But yeah, Dave, what were your thoughts on, also we got the setup, but what were your thoughts on, as right now, that's what, I think the only top tier one is Meltzer. That's the only one that's put it out yet. Obviously, this week we'll see fallout from other scoopers, because I guarantee you they'll respond right now, whatnot. But he's the only one that's put it out there. But clearly, from the end of this match, seems like, okay, that could be the route they're going. Plans can change, and I actually do think they're gonna change. But if this does happen, how do you see it going down, David?
If this is the route they're going to take, then you got to be setting up for the Cody heel turn. And the only thing that I want to see as a result of it is if Cody turns heel, he beats Roman, he walks away with the title. I want to see him walk up to the top of the ramp, and I want to see him sit in a new throne.
Oh my God.
I want you to call back to the throne spot. I want you to solidify him as the ultimate bad guy. He does some dastardly stuff. He sits on the throne, and then instead of the pointing picture with him and Triple H afterwards, I need Triple H standing next to the throne pointing at Cody sitting in it, and that's the image. Like, if you're going to do it, you better full on do it. None of this, well, I just cheated to get the win, but, I'm still your baby face. I'm still, this and that. I just couldn't let Roman win. No, you got to full on embrace the darkness if this is going to be the way. And I think Cody could go on a good heel run. I mean, When he was on
I
the
think it'd be better than
Indies, when he
Cena's.
was in New Japan, he did a lot of great heel work.
Oh
So
yeah, like when was the Elite Kenny Omega drama? That Cody was the
that
best
was
heel in the world at that point.
yeah, 2017, 2018 was
Yeah.
during that time. Their build up to that, their feud for the New Japan's US championship and things like that. Yeah, everything is fine. The Elite is fine. Like
Yeah.
that time, that was some great heel stuff.
I feel like every month I see like people farming for clips that share the Cody turning on Kenny like clip, and I don't think you can get to that level, but Cody can do it. It's just a question of even does he want to, and that's the thing with Cody, right? There's a Cody lie. I never know because he's before like, I never ever want to do that again. But then a couple months ago, right, we talked about he's like, yeah, I could do that one day. So it's like I never know. Is he like? It's like in AEW when he said like, oh, I'll never turn heel to the crowd, and then he revealed later like I was saying that because that's my heel turn right there is to get them to boo me, right? So it's just like Cody's good that way. You never like I never know like. Is he actually opposed? Like, I really don't want to do a heel, or is he just doing that so it's like, okay, people think this is like a, you're not going to see it coming. They'll think this is a pain in the ass for me, but really, I'm having a good time. So, I really don't know. But Espub, so obviously you talked about the heel turn. Do you think that's something that would actually happen? What is your thinking if Cody and Roman is happening? And do we all? I'm in agreement with myself. I think Roman would win the Rumble in my opinion, right? Like, I feel like I think he's winning it because you can kind of run back the Punk and Cody thing again, where even though he's good with Punk, you can have a few weeks where Punk and Roman are like, maybe he's gonna pick Punk, and Roman hasn't won a Rumble I think since the Big Dog era. I think when he got booed, right?
He hasn't won since.
I think since New York when Rock holds him up and he's like, so
Yeah.
I think Roman wants a big. Throw somebody out, get the big pop. I'm saying Roman to me is that's why I kept him on my draft roster. But Roman's win the Rumble. How do you see it going down there? I suppose.
I do think the match is actually happening. I feel like the signs are there. As for like if it's like a straight one-on-one with like no interference and like no big twist, then I think Roman's winning it. As for like the heel turn, like I said, I don't know, cause I mean, one of like the plans, even if it was like planned like a day before it actually happened, cause Cena, I think they said there were some talks of like the turn happening at Mania, I believe.
Yes, there was. Yeah, it was like mid-match, which in retrospect, it's tough. Like in retrospect now, because of Scott, it would have been better, but that moment was good. But they did talk about on Real that they pitched that maybe they have it in the middle of the match, so.
Yeah, so I feel like if they did do the Cody heel turn, I don't think it'd be like Cena, where like, like I don't think Roman's winning the Rumble and like he like confronts Cody and Cody low blows him. Like I think it'd be during the match in that case.
Yeah.
As for if it'll actually happen, I don't know. I feel like we'd have to get closer.
You said you think it was happening, and now you're talking yourself out of it. Oh, you mean the heel turn part?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'd say it depends. We'd have to get closer to the match actually happening. For even if it's a surprise in the match, I feel like I still have to get closer to the actual match happening for me to predict if it's gonna happen or not.
Yeah, and even to see the reactions, right? Because to see like the cheers and contracts and see which route they kind of go, like it'd be interesting. Because it's a question of okay, so if you do, it's like the Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan thing, where Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan, and that was always the new face. It's like, but eventually, and I'm not saying this will happen with Cody, but eventually, what happened the next year, WrestleMania, Hulk Hogan was just back there in the WWE title spot, winning. So that's my thing of like, what do you do with if there's no heel turn? If Roman just beats him, like what do you do immediately after with Cody, right? Roman, he'll defend it. He'll do the whole thing. Maybe they can turn Jay there, but it's just like Cody has a baby face that's now lost to Roman. Like the only thing I'd say, it's almost like Mania this year. You'd have to, I feel like, give him lots of time off. Like give him 6 months and make people kind of miss when he comes back. Big story, because I don't know what you would do immediately
with
him.
Just like disappear.
Yeah, like I think that's the only option. And don't be wrong, I Cody of course wants to be like the QB1. I guarantee you. Not saying making him sound like a child, but like if they sit him down and tell him you're just taking the clean, like he'll do it, and like I think he would see why. Like Roman still like is gonna be the guy, and as I've said before, we talked about last gimmick. Lately, he's definitely been Roman last entrance on Raw, last entrance in War Games. He's being positioned as that type of guy again, right? And that's where I guarantee you too, Roman, like, I guarantee you he does not. Wasn't there rumors he was going to do that Tribal Chief 1 shirt, or that happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
so
well,
just
yeah, that's it. Like his Titantron is like the OTC one.
yeah, and that's a complete parody of the QB1 thing. You know, like that's him trying to say, "Well, I'm above that. I don't need to be the QB1." So, and like, there's people for Roman to wrestle. Just I don't know. I wonder if it's gonna happen. I'm very curious to see these next couple of months, like what goes out. And again, too, doesn't even matter. One of these guys get injured, right, and then that's over, right? Right now, we were literally probably what a month and a half ago talking about Roman and Seth at Mania, and that's gone, right? So Roman gets injured, Cody gets injured, it's all gone. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just I'll be curious on the build. I'll be curious how we get there. I'll be curious to see the fan reaction. Same thing too, the reaction of when they start that match. It's just Cody and Roman babyface. What does that crowd do? Because they're in Vegas again. Yeah, like, and Vegas wasn't too kind on Cody. Obviously, it was the Cena thing, so that's a bit harder. But like, they weren't too kind on him last year. So it's like, do you put him in? And to me, that's the worst position. If you put Cody in a situation where he's booed by the crowd and he's just taking the good guy loss, that's 2 years in a row, and he just looks like a chump now. You officially have taken away. If I was him, what I would do is they should do SmackDown in Vegas again, and if he can sense he's getting booed, he should next hour pitch that heel turn to Triple H right away, even if it's after the day after, like, because like there's no more room for you as a babyface currently right now, in my opinion. But yeah, we'll see. It's interesting if we're gonna go there, and it's gonna be a fun time then. That's gonna be a nerve-wracking match, but that'll be interesting. Speaking of big returns, I guess we can go to this one. We can go to Dom versus Cena. Kind of what we thought. Cena was gonna lose it here. Lots of Judgment Day interference. I do love per Espob's name that both Raquel and Roxanne were getting some moves on Cena. So again, like, he can't wrestle them, but kind of putting them over in a fun way. Where okay, Cena's last PLE match is some other talent are going to interact with him. In concept, as we talk about in predictions, I wasn't a fan of this, but these two got some fun chemistry. There's a universe where this retirement run went different, and Cena is the 17 champion, and Dom's beating him for like the world title. And I wish we kind of got there, but we had Liv come back at the end. I get what they're doing with the fake turn. I just wish they didn't do the Cena her jump on him and do the whole like eyes thing. To me, they kind of oversold it, because I wish you would have hit Dom, and the second she turned around, kicked Cena in the nuts. Like, so you would that double swerve, but it took a little too long. But hey, again, good spot for Liv. Seems like they're back. And as they said in the Discord, Dom only has a finite time kill. He's a babyface. I don't feel like booing him, but now it's come to the point where like
I think what's gonna happen with Dom and Liv is like they're just gonna be the same characters and then just like turn face.
I think so.
I feel like, and people noticed like Liv, because she's been using like her like she has her normal Titantron, and then like this version pretty much it's very similar, but it has like the Judgment Day logos all over it. This one she had no Judgment Day logos when she came out.
Yeah, and that's what they were kind of already setting up before, right up to like Finn and Roxanne kind of trying to do power moves and whatnot, and they'll probably get back there. Also,
I feel
we don't know what
Mania
Liv's
could even be like the mixed tag match.
Yes, of like
Dom and I've seen people say like maybe it could even be like you either get like Finn or Roxanne one of the IC titles, and you do like for both of them like a match for both.
Oh
IC
yeah,
titles.
that could work. I would like that. Well, yeah, and you could. I would love it too if you just did like some triple threat or fatal four where Finn is. Well, I guess they did that with that at Mania, but I guess maybe the reverse where Finn screws, like Finn and Roxanne screw Dom out of the title. But I actually would not be bad. I guess though you could also just take the titles off them, and that's just like a tag match at Mania, right? It's just Finn and Roxanne versus Liv and Dom, and then I guarantee you they'll kind of have Raquel as like a. Which way does she go? And I think Liv and Dom are not winning that equation. I think they'll have her turn heel there. But yeah.
I liked the match itself. The ending shenanigans I did think were the fake slap, and I've seen a bunch of people talk about how her slap was like way off on Dom. So was that on purpose? Was that not on purpose? Was that just a full Cena? Like that whole thing, and then the facial expression before kicking him with the low blow, like that part I could have done without, but the match itself I really liked. They sold me on the injury angle with Dom.
Yeah, that
like
fully got me.
I was
100%.
very much invested in. I was like, oh no, not just because I have him drafted, but also because like I like where his character's been
Yeah.
going. Like Dom is a highlight for me. His gimmick is just it's fun for me. Watching him every week has become fun. So like no, don't be hurt, and especially since this is Cena's last PLE, I didn't want it to end on
Could you
them calling the
imagine?
match because of that.
Yeah, what I was thinking is like I was sort of getting suspicious that it was like fake, but then like when Roxanne and Raquel attacked Cena, that kind of got me into believing it more because I was like maybe, and especially it started happening like while the camera was like just showing a replay of Dom's like injury is like when
That's how they
attacking
DQ'd the
Cena.
match and ended.
I was thinking like, yeah, like what if they told them like just like stall for time, like attack Cena and like do your finishers on him and like
Yeah,
we'll
see,
get like Finn to come out there and like replace him in the match or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. I was thinking that was just them stalling for time, but no, it's the setup for
Yeah,
Dom to run back in.
because you're right. That's how they would do it. For me, it was when the ref went back into the ring and talked to Cena. There was something about that interaction, like, okay, we're good. He's not actually injured. Which is, I don't know. It was just like it didn't feel natural between Cena and the ref. But I would say that I still want to know this, and I wonder if some scooper will find out. When he did the Hurricane Rana, were they on purpose trying to make it look like it was a botch so the injury would happen?
Yeah, that's
or
like
did
what
they
Dave
botch it
said,
and
it's
just
like-
added, to the
Yeah.
injury?
Dave said like I wonder if they did it like if that was a planned spot or if not because that looked like botch of the century. It's like
'Cause
what
That's
he
a
said.
That's
That
a
was-
risky spot. That's
It-
risky.
It is, but like
'Cause-
it's still just kind of like a
I-
power bomb on the floor,
I
right? If you
think
do it enough.
was
Yeah.
planned because it's like it was like the exact same like Penta real injury that happened this week.
Yeah,
Which
and
makes
that's
me
the,
think
that,
it was planned, which made it work more because you just saw it this week, so you're like, oh, maybe it happened again on the exact same.
yeah.
move.
Which I agree with that. That's another thing. I think the commentary they oversold too much as far as like, oh, I really hope Dom's okay. Like usually people go down injured. They're pretty like they do talk about it, but they're a bit more low key on it. But it was still great.
Yeah.
They definitely got me for like 30 seconds because the reason I was fucking freaking out because I thought I monkey pawed Dom when he threw Cena to the ground and he did like his little thing. He jumped off the steps, and I got flashbacks to Adam Cole when he jumped off the stage, and I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, man, what would they do if Dom just got injured here? I was like, they'd have to do like another match, like as a make good or something like that, right? And then the move happened about 15 seconds later. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like Xavier over here. I did something to Dominic Mysterio, and then it was a gimmick, so I was very happy. But the Adam Cole thing flashback in my mind of like, imagine if his ankle just like shatters when he jumps off these steps because it's just like him
I was
getting
thinking
down.
that
but-
like this whole tour for Cena, like what if he
So
just got
lucky.
injured at some
Yeah.
point? Yeah.
Like Cena's been so lucky both times of this and when because I was there live and they end up doing it when they announced Rock and Cena a year in advance. The fact that Cena didn't get injured at all, like I'm sure some little stuff, but I mean like nothing that would have taken him out. Like Cena's lucky on both those occasions. Yeah, I thought like if he got injured, you have to do like all the tours going to pick up next year, right? Like but they're very lucky, and maybe that's why he didn't wrestle in certain times or some big matches and stuff like that. But yeah, they were very, very lucky that didn't happen. And I guess we're on our way to right now. We got what is it, Gunther and Solo, which is just like
I kind of think that's gonna be a good match.
I'm curious.
like-
I'm gonna
like-
watch it. I think I think there's two ways. I think it's an underrated, like that could be really good, or I do think it's dog shit. I think they could clash and it's not going to work out and it's going to be really awkward. I will watch it because I'm just curious to see how that goes. And then LA and Jay, who knows how that goes. I just really hope it's LA versus Gunther. I don't want to run back Jay and Gunther. We don't need to get to that lore. I think there's a good chance it could be, but give LA Knight like something. He wasn't in the War Games match. Like that guy's got nothing going on right now.
They gave
but
him the Office is Against Me storyline.
They did, yeah. They keep cutting him off and everything, but no, it was a fun match, Cena and Dom. Even though I didn't love that they did that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here. The only thing that I really didn't like is JD and Finn come down. That's fine. They're fighting everything like that. They set him down, and JD goes for both of them are on the turnbuckle. JD and Finn. JD goes for the moonsault, and Cena gets his legs up to counter. Finn, why would you jump right after? Clearly,
I thought the
I mean,
same thing.
Cena went back down again.
But
so I was like,
know,
You might as well go for it.
It made Finn look like the biggest idiot. That's when you jump off the ropes like, I'm not going to go for it. I know why to set the spot. And he did the classic double, which, again, that was a risky spot. Even though they're not massive
his
guys.
legs get blown out. Right
Well, that
there,
happened to, what's his name, a couple years ago, WrestleMania, right? The guy who...
Rick.
Rick Boogs.
Yeah, remember he tried to do the Cena spot and his legs gave out. He was
buckled.
injured. Yeah, and he tore like his ACL or something. So it's like, and especially now, Cena's not as big as he used to be. So when he did this, this is risky. Your last match was 2 weeks, so that's the only thing. I just wish they had like Cena hit him off and him. It just made Finn look like the biggest geek ever. Like, I guess I'll still go, and then he gets countered. So at least, as I was pointing out, like imagine if JD counters Cena, but he wasn't quick enough to get Finn. So it's like, okay, that happens. But no, like these guys look like complete idiots they look like Harry and Marv from Home Alone in this sequence. It's just like,
and
man, like Finn, like, I hope that chick's good.
Like a big shirt and stuff. Like his outfit here was just funny to me.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just, yeah. So, but we'll see. I think, like we said, there's some Judgment Day break. I think they might wait until I could see Rumble them really start the breakup storyline. I think they'll be good for a little bit, maybe hint about it, but I think whether it's Roxanne taking Liv
Raquel or Roxanne throw out Liv.
Yeah, or they could do the men's version of Finn throwing out Dom, right? Like one of those are going to happen. So I feel like because Rumble's not that far away, kind of have Judgment Day just kind of cool, like for now. Like they'll have some drama, I think, because Liv's also... Yeah. I hope Liv is mentions and is mad that Roxanne, like they lost the tag titles, right? That should be a story point of contention that, like, hey, we had the titles and I gave them to you and you lost them, right? So there should be some drama, but I hope they're just kind of cool until Rumble and then see what happens there. So.
Yeah, I think it'll be like they'll have like some like awkward, like on purpose, like Judgment Day, like like Liv is here now, I guess, and like we were good without her or something.
Yeah. Let's see, and then we go to Stephanie and Nikki Bella, who, you know what, was a fine, good old match, because I think, like what we talked about before, Nikki just works better as a heel, works better given the offense. She definitely looked way better as far as than with that Becky match. Could have just been not working well, because I just felt like that had a lot of issues where, like I said myself, like, okay, just do Taze and that's about it. But this was fun enough. There was one moment where I get it, because like, let's hope her career is big. But Barrett's like, I'm just a little more. He's like, Nikki Bella's a Hall of Famer, and if Stephanie continues away, she'll be a Hall of Famer too. It's like, all right, let's slow down here. Like we can't be calling Stephanie a Hall of Famer like a year or two into her WWE run. Like something's gonna happen. But no, I thought this was like a fine match. Like, would I probably like? Could this have been like a big match on Raw and maybe put something bigger on this show as far as like, I guess like Nikki Bella's big and they're trying to get Stephanie. So I guess I take that back. They're trying to get Stephanie a big win. So this wasn't offensive and as bad as I thought it could be. So I think this was actually some good shine for Nikki Bella. And this is coming from a guy who had no interest in this match. I'm not saying again that I need Nikki to be winning these stuff. They do need to give her some wins though, because she's just losing to everybody. So if they're not giving Brie Bella back, they got to do something.
I was gonna say they just need to get Brie and put them in the tag team.
It's like the Usos. Just have them be a tag team, and they can still do solos like on a Raw or SmackDown, right? Like they can still do that. Every once in a while, you can throw a title shot for a secondary if you want. Like as I said last episode, get over it. Who cares? Brian's on the desk.
They see Brie, they're switching over to Dynamite. That's what the
yeah, like
say.
Get over it. It's fine. Like that's where. But at least to me, this gave me more confidence. So. Yeah.
The bar for this match was pretty low for me, so they definitely exceeded that. I think Nikki did much better than I've seen her do in her last couple of appearances, so I was really happy about that. I did laugh. I saw somewhere else someone was joking, saying that somewhere Booker T is pissed that this is the time that they decided to do the Devil's Kiss on the announce table, and he's nowhere near. So, I mean, it was a pretty good match, some fun spots. Again, it gave Stephanie Vaquera a chance to put, beating a Hall of Famer under her title reign and things like that. So other than that, it was a simple paint by numbers match, but it was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I did actually like that I wasn't sure like if they would really get that much time. Like I was thinking this could maybe even be like an under 10 minutes match, but I did like that I think the match was about 12 minutes, so it's not necessarily a long match, but I thought it was good I think with Nikki, since she can't do that sort of fast-paced offense, doing like a match where you like build the heat of her
Yeah.
working over Stephanie. You kind of need that to be at least over 10 minutes. So I thought that worked well. And I thought it was, yeah, a fine match. I thought, yeah, Nikki had some good offense there. I didn't feel like she like really botched or messed up any moves. And I think in singles matches she's done better since the Becky match. I feel
Hmm.
she had some. I thought the matches she had the singles match with Roxanne on Raw was probably like the best singles match she's had in this like return run. But Roxanne, like, well, that's the thing with when she was having her NXT title run, it was like anyone that faced her was like, oh, like this could be the next NXT Women's Champion, because she would just make anyone look good in their match. So,
Yeah.
but I'm more interested in what Stephanie's gonna do in the future with this title reign.
Yeah. Like, who would be
I'm not
next
really
up for
sure
her?
who's next.
Brie Bella. That's her big
Yeah,
return. That's
I would want to have like a Bailey or Lyra challenger would be my pick. If
triple
you're
threat.
still
I would
gonna
love
have,
too between those two of like doing some
yeah,
drama. You
I'd
know.
say especially if you're still gonna have like, because I don't think like the Rhea, Io, and like Kabuki Warrior stuff is like done yet. I
No.
don't really think so. So I feel like they're still gonna be in that, and then I mean the pretty much the only other women on Raw and, like who could be like believable in like the main event scene are like Bailey and Lyra.
Well,
So
I also think Liv's an option because you could do something
yeah, that
where
too.
Liv challenges and Rox and Raquel. Either you could do a screw over angle there, or you could also do the classic, like Judgment Day has done so many times, where they're trying to help Liv, but they screw up and they cost her title. So I actually think, because Liv just came back, she's got the big pop, she's popular. I could see that is that's my prediction. The next big one. I'm not saying just on a random Raw. I'm saying like a Saturday Night's Main Event or even Rumble. I could see them doing Stephanie and Liv, and just that'll work out. And I think that could be a fun match. So I think that's my prediction. Then yeah, Judgment Day is
Yeah, because
screwing that up.
I was gonna say, even in that, like they had like Maxine do like a little backstage segment on Raw this week for like the IC title, and like Bailey and Lyra weren't there, even though that was like the last thing they were doing with the IC title. So I feel like that kind of means they're not necessarily just going back to the IC title stuff right away,
Yeah.
because
So
they had like Roxanne and Raquel kind of be like, oh, like we could come for the IC title, and then they also had Ivy Nile, who hasn't been like on Raw and like I don't even remember
I
how long.
saw that. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. And even with Becky, I kind of thought Becky would just go and just beat Maxine again right away, which I don't know if if it's not happening. I just don't know.
I don't know
Like,
who you give Maxine, because like I feel like with if Becky's not going for it, I feel like she can't just lose it right. I feel like they would give her. Well, that is it's Ivy Nile. I just answered my own question.
yeah,
Like she'll beat one person
she'll get a
before
roll up
dropping it.
victory roll
Yeah.
schoolgirl win and stuff, and that's like, and to
Because I saw
me,
someone, she hadn't won a match, a singles match by pinfall before the Becky match since like 2023.
jeez Louise, that's quite the stat there. My
Yeah.
God. Yeah, and I wonder too, because we kind of thought if Becky in the next 2 weeks does not beat Maxine, I think there's a really good chance that we're not getting Becky and AJ 101 till Mania. I think the route, the how so far AJ's kind of had like a Brock Lesnar schedule, probably transition to War Games. I think she'll definitely do Rumble because she's never done a Rumble. I think AJ is gonna be Final Four in the Rumble or Final Two. I could even see a spot where AJ gets Becky out and Becky comes back in the match and takes her out. Like I could see them doing that with AJ. So it's like she's eliminated, but it's by cheating Kabuki sort of ways. So I think
I
there's a
mean,
good
if they don't
chance.
have like a big like women's return, like she could be like a number 30, even if
Oh,
like she's
absolutely.
already
Yeah.
come
No,
back.
Yeah.
absolutely. She could be 30. No, I think that's a good spot for her. And I think I just, that's my vibe. I just feel like, because even then, I don't think you could do Becky and AJ at WrestleMania, and then you wouldn't even need the title, right? It's like Jade Naomi last year. You could do nothing. Now, again, that's a super long build, but that's fine if that's like a big special, like that's AJ's first one-on-one match. Like you can market that. So I'm just getting the route I think we're gonna go. I feel, and I'm Still curious about what they do with Rhea and Stephanie and Io and the tag title there, but I feel like that's where we talked about like mixed tag for Judgment Day, AJ and Becky, maybe just solely. You could do like a multi-woman match for the IC title, US title, like make it on the card.
Yeah, I think there's definitely like, I think the women are getting like, like the mid card IC title multi man like this year.
I think, yeah.
Especially since that's kind of like a like for the men, I feel like that's sort of not like a tradition, but I feel like it kind of is like having like that big like mid card title like multi man match at Mania.
Yeah, and that would make sense for that spot there. So, which speaking of War Games for the women, they opened up the show. The babyfaces got the win, so that record's still going on. You had some cool stuff there, like Io just fucking, my God, like that. It's just very scary. The bump.
They actually caught her this year because like there's some other years where
Yeah.
she's done that and just landed straight on the mat.
Oh, her getting hit with that trash can lid though when she was coming off the top rope and Kyrie like took the trash can lid and hit her on the side. I was like, oh,
Kyrie with the trash can is dangerous. Like I remember like a few years ago, like that was like she had the trash can lid on and it was like Shotzi was in there and she did like her back fist like full force, but like holding the trash can lid and just she was getting people with that.
Jeez, yeah, no, she be like Sandman and just make that her bring it to the ring all the time. Never mind the pirate gear, but yeah, you had
that's
that.
What like Io's done with the trash can for War Games.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know they had the two lids, which was great, and they had those going. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting with Rio and Io with the Kabuki Warriors if they give them a tag title run or not. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but yeah. Then you had obviously Nia in here, Lash Legend making her debut. Good, they gave her some good offense because man, when she came out last, that crowd was quiet. They're not giving up.
The theme song is so bad. Like
yeah,
when they changed it on NXT, like NXT chants for like any themes, like any NXT theme song, there's chants for it in the PC. Like, well, Lash Legend does have a few, but it took like a month and a half when they changed their theme song for anyone to make any noise to it.
I would have put Nia Lash just because she has a bit more notoriety and everything, but they still gave her some moments. I wish they gave her like a few more moments, but I think she was looking good. There's just a couple spots for me in here that like kind of held it back. Obviously, Rhea's gear was great, and I did see this morning that someone Instagram or tweeted at the director Damian Leone for Terrifier and said we need to start a petition for her to be in the movie, and he said, "Oh, don't worry about that." So. I should have trashed told you. I've been saying that for 2 years of like easy layup. She's got to be in Terrifier 4, you know.
They met this past summer. I know that much.
Yes.
They met, and then she did something where she was at a concert and they had Art the Clown there, and so yeah.
And no, it's fantastic and like and it's so funny to me. It's like. Does Michael Cole or Triple H know what the fuck this movie is? Like when they're just like,
Michael
oh, it's from the
Cole
popular
like
horror franchise.
Yeah, he was like straight reading from like the script. He's like, that's the popular horror film franchise Terrifier, and this character is Art the Clown.
Oh,
like,
I know. Yeah, and it's like WWE is not like a family product, but it's definitely a family product.
They have official like on WWE, like they have Rhea and like Art the Clown merch. Like,
oh, I know, and it's just
stuff,
like this. This is one of the most gruesome, like. Awful characters of all time, Art the Clown. Like he is a fucking monster. But it's like, yeah, kids, get that shirt. But gear, very, very cool. But yeah, there's just a couple spots where they're just a little clunk on. I also agree that it's what I don't like. Becky was cheesing up way too much for me in this match. It's like the Jey Uso thing where I know it's part of her character, but in this one, I wish it's okay. Now the man's back. I'm gonna kick some ass and have a few moments of fear, but just a little too over the top. There is this moment where Becky gets the T-bone suplex set up, the Bexploder, and Charlotte's supposed to also do it, but it's like 10 seconds of her like waiting for Charlotte, and then she does it. Didn't feel natural. And then there was, maybe it's in my notes. There's just another time too where it's just something happened. And I will say also, the Charlotte miss save. That was another one where they're gonna go miss Rhea. And like Charlotte's like waiting, and then she like moves her at the last minute. And the other thing, this wasn't the women's fault too. I just felt like the camera crew was like, missing a lot. They were going to the wrong cameras at different times. They were going to the cameras where it's like someone's back, and it's supposed to be this like big moment between like Becky and AJ, and all I see is like Nia's shoulder. It's so some of it was not their fault. Some of it I think was the crew.
I think
were
that
just
was with the men's war games too. Like they missed Braun spearing Roman, and like they
yeah,
missed
they did.
like Drew. Like I think he like low blowed Cody, and like no one even
no one saw it.
on them at all.
Which I do understand. It's a crazy match, but that's where as the producers you kind of have to be like, okay, give some more time in between some of these, or just like just wait.
Or tell the cameraman, here are the spots you need to see, because Michael Cole had to tell us about the low blow afterwards. He goes, you guys didn't see it, but we did. There was a low blow over here. I'm like, you guys know this spot is going to be happening. Why don't you say, hey, tell camera 2, be prepared. We're going to cut you for this low blow. Even if it is just a quick cutaway, you hit the low blow, then you cut back to the action. We at least still see it.
Yeah,
that's actually something I felt like AEW got better on as they did more of like the Anarchy and the arena matches. Like I remember, I think it was like the first 2 were like, I forget which one it was. There was one, not this year's Anarchy Arena, I think last year's it was. There was just like so much going on that the cameras like were just like missing a ton of spots. And then this year I felt like they condensed it better and we're catching everything. So I feel like it's just something they have to work on and tell people, I guess, to spread their stuff out more, or just tell the cameras what they're kind of supposed to be focused on at exactly when it happens.
Yeah, so I had still like fun enough with this match, but I do think it's probably one of the weaker ones in a little bit there. But again, they had AJ get the win, tap Becky out.
Than last year's, I'd say, because last year's it was kind of like there was just some like it was like this year I felt like they did the opposite in terms of weapons. I feel like this match didn't really use that many weapons, and like they didn't even get a table in there and stuff. Last year was like every single person would come in with a weapon and then spend like 3 minutes under the ring putting stuff out. Like every single entrance
that's true.
was that.
Yeah, that's
this
fair.
one was like I did like more that actually was some more like wrestling in it instead of just like using the weapons the whole time.
Yeah. But do you want that many weapons in there when you've got Lash Legend, who's never been in this type of match? You've got a returning AJ Lee, and then you've got the Queen of Botches, Nia Jax. Like, do you want to risk table spots with these 3 in there? Like, because you don't want anything happening to AJ. You don't want Lash to look dumb in her debut. And again, you have Nia Jax. And on a separate note, what the hell was with that white, green, and pink?
Gear was the Buzz Lightyear gear was an odd choice for a war game.
And it did not fit her being on the heel team. Like, I get it. Like when they had everyone coming out in white during Blood and Guts and things like that. Like you had the white versus the red. Like everyone kind of had themed gear, but your gear wasn't matching anybody. It was just distracting the entire time. I kept asking myself, what is going on with this gear?
Yeah, she didn't look the greatest in the match. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm kind of fine with war games if it doesn't always have weapons. Like especially I would kind of like to dictate if they go, okay, have one do the more weapons and one be the more wrestling. But I think there was a good balance. So no, I think you're right. I suppose as far as not having too much in there, too much clutter and whatnot. So
yeah, and some people for this match were like predicting, I don't know really why, I never really got this sense, but there were some people that like, oh, like Alexa's gonna turn heel on Charlotte was like one of the predictions for this match, and I was like, I don't really think that's gonna happen, but if anything, it made that this partnership isn't really ending anytime soon. I feel like
And I will say also too, because I always bring this up. I think it's the 08 or 09 Rumble. One of my favorite stare downs is Randy Orton and John Cena, where they try and do the stare down, and the crowd doesn't react at all because they're just like over it. Actually, I think it was like 2010 because they were both baby faces. Still, the crowd showed there's still some meat on the bone for like Charlotte and Becky, because when they stared down, the crowd reacted, right? So, which I am interested in the future, because they did the whole, they weren't friends, they got back together, but now Becky's heel, so I'm curious to see where that could go in the future. I don't think that's for a while now, because they got different stuff going on, but the crowd still liked that dynamic, so that was good to see.
The 4 horsewomen reunion of Charlotte, Becky, Bayley, and Alexa.
Well, they mentioned the 4 horsewomen on a couple of occasions, but they never said who the members were. They're like, yeah, we've got 2 of the 4 horsewomen here. We've got the groundbreaking, these women were trendsetters within the 4 horsewomen, but they never mentioned who the other 2 were. So,
And
Yeah,
also,
well,
I
they
also
mentioned
thought it was
Bailey.
funny, like them getting like the WWE like history sort of confused now that AJ Lee is back because they're like the Horsewomen, like they broke the glass ceiling, and then like
They
AJ Lee
started
came
the
out and Michael
evolution.
Cole was like, well, AJ Lee really started it, but like
Yeah, because
yeah,
he said they started, and he's like, actually, they finished the evolution. It's like, well, I
yeah.
don't think they finished it either. I think they just propelled it. Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
wasn't finished for a while. We still had the butterfly title, so it is fun because it's like the weird WWE indoctrination thing where it's like for a decade it's been like AJ did not start this. It's like okay, and now that she's back, it's like, well, no, like she had a big part of it, you know, like telling everybody. So it is funny to see.
They need
So.
the- they
If you're
need
gonna
the-
credit, go
No,
ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, yeah, they need to do the AJ Lee like WWE documentary where now they just go back and say like
They do,
the things
yeah,
she did
yeah.
do.
They still
I-
never given us a big Punk one. They never gave us a fucking. They filmed all this behind the scenes footage for Survivor Series. We never got like a big Punk. Like I thought, a year after. We still haven't got that. I do miss the docs. So
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan,
I think that once when it comes to the women's evolution and them talking about it, I'm okay with them crediting AJ for kicking it off because I do think that her tweet was like the main catalyst for it. And then you have the 4 horsewomen. But if you're going to talk about who finished capping it off, that has to be Becky Lynch in the main
Yeah.
eventing WrestleMania. Like that. So when they were saying, "Oh no, these are the women who finished it," I'm like, "No, the redhead. That's the woman who finished it. Her becoming the man in main eventing and being so big that no one could deny her." And then Rhea Ripley has just taken the ball and absolutely run fucking wild with it. She has propelled that to a whole new level. But
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like even someone that loves AJ, it's just like she did kind of start those wheels turning, but she did still leave. I'm not saying she shouldn't have left, but she did leave, and it had to be the other ladies that did that, right?
Yeah.
Easily she could have left and no one does it, and then it's just a tweet somewhere, right? So they had to pick it up. And yeah, again, as much as I don't think she's the greatest person, like Ronda Rousey deserves that credit too, right? Because she put a lot of eyes on, like, I think there's a good chance if it's just Becky and Charlotte, they're probably not main eventing that WrestleMania, right? But because they have Ronda there to like appeal to more of the mainstream, it's like, okay, we can do that. Because like, again, we haven't, other than Sasha, you know, Monet and Bianca, there still has not been another women's main event at WrestleMania yet. And even then,
that
for
one
me,
wasn't even
that's still night
supposed
one.
to be the main event. Like that was like they announced it was gonna be a main event like 2 days before Mania.
Yeah, I can't. What was the other
It was
match?
supposed to be Drew and Lashley as the main event, and they opened the show instead.
Drew and Lash? Oh, right. Because, like, yeah, Drew lost.
The match that Drew
Right.
loses due
Yeah.
to MVP hitting him with a cane.
Yeah, and then he, like, passes out in the full Nelson or whatever, I
Yeah.
think. Right. That's
that was
crazy.
supposed to be
They
the
thought
main event. Like
that.
like 2 days before, they just switched it. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. That
You
that
can
was
find
gonna
the
be
like
main
you can
event.
find the news articles like they just like that was like the planned main event and then
Okay,
they changed
because I remember the 2 days before, but cause sometimes they'd still like wait a week before they officially announce, right? So, and I wasn't watching full time, so I didn't know it, but I didn't know that would have been crazy to end with Drew and Bobby with that finish too. You know,
Yeah.
like that, honestly, maybe they would have changed it if that was finished, because that would have just been a
Yeah.
downer one. But thank God they didn't, because Bianca and Sasha's great. So, anything else on this PLE or anything WWE wise we've missed or haven't talked
I
about
say
yet?
I like the outside venue a lot. Like you said in the
Yes.
Discord, like AJ's entrance with like the sunset
Oh
outside.
yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
and when it got dark outside, like I thought like Braun Breaker's entrance looked like really cool, like him coming out of the tunnel and like the shot. I like the big tunnel too. That was cool.
Mhm.
Again, the camera in there, and yeah, I was saying like I was excited to see what like a War Games match would look like outside, and I thought it looked really cool seeing it in a stadium there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get why people, because sound wise, sometimes talk about stadiums, but outside
I thought the
stadium, I'll
sound was
take it
actually
every
pretty
time.
Good. Like I didn't really notice like it being like necessarily like that quiet because yeah, sound like in stadiums it like dissipates into the air.
Yeah, doesn't come
compared to,
back.
like an arena. Yeah.
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 Oh, and obviously, yeah, we didn't talk about, but like, yeah, Austin Theory, if he's the attacker, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
I to me, Austin Theory does not fit this group. I didn't want him in the group to begin with, but he fit more with Seth being there, with Braun and Bronson. They might tie it to Paul Heyman. That just doesn't work. I just don't feel Braun and Bronson work with Austin. Like Logan Paul works more than them with Austin Theory. So I don't know. I think this
That's
is
true.
to me their last attempt to like give him the ball, and if this doesn't work, I think Theory is gone whenever his next contract's up. I just again, I don't think he's bad per se. I've just never seen it. To me, it's similar like John Morrison, where I feel like he's just missing. He's got the look, he's somewhat decent in the ring, but there's just it's literally that it factor. There's something just missing to me with him. So
I would say I'd even rather have had him like it's a meme, but like I do think the crowd legitimately did want him to turn face. Like,
yeah, they
at
did
some
though,
point earlier
right?
this year. I feel like that would work better than like putting him in the Vision, unless there's like Triple H sees this as like a long-term plan of like, oh, like he'll turn face and like betray the Vision or something like that. But I don't really
you're
know what
pitching
he's gonna
Braun
do
and Brock
here.
at SummerSlam. You're getting Austin Theory and Braun at SummerSlam in Minneapolis.
I mean, I'd probably like that more than Braun and Brock, to be honest.
Yeah,
It'd be
probably.
two young
Yeah.
guys in a world title match in a big show. But
Yeah.
I don't really know what he's gonna do in the Vision. The only thing I can really think is like, because you always have sort of like the tag team and like the mid card guy. I could see him being like, if Braun is gonna be like the world champion, you make like Theory and Bronson like the tag team, or you have like Theory go for like the IC title or something.
That's such
really
like oil and water, but
yeah.
no, you're right.
I feel like you said, it would have made more sense like if Seth was still around. So I don't really know, but since they didn't reveal it here, like, I mean, I'm assuming they just revealed it on Raw, but like, I don't know, maybe like this like mystery person like keeps helping them like for a while before actually revealing that it's Theory.
It's El Grande Americano. That's
yeah, it's Chad Gable, he's back.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know what they're gonna do with Theory, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I have no excitement for the possibility with Theory, like whatsoever. If it's him, cool story, bro. But I think they've missed the mark on him so far, and it's been so long that I have no area where I can find excitement in it.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go on to AWC.
Oh,
like
actually,
I said.
I do have something more for WWE, kind of relating. Since we're not going to talk until Cena's show, since that's supposed to be like the main roster versus NXT, I just like some predictions of like, let's say the first hour of the show, it's a 2-hour show. First hour is like main roster versus NXT. That's probably like around 3 matches, I'd say. Mm-hmm. What do you think those could be, or would you want them to be?
You gotta get Javon in there again. I know they keep spamming him, but like he's not on the main roster.
The one I see people saying, and I do think this would be good, would be like AJ Styles and Dragon Lee against Giovanna and Leon Slater.
Yeah, I guess you could do a team. I don't want Javon to get too affiliated with Slater, and I just worry they'll just like, you guys should get some matching gear, and then he's a tag guy, right? When you have, because I think he's wrong, but I think people think like him. That statement Mark Henry made this week, where in about 15 years, Javon will be ready, and I guarantee there's people like that, like because the Braun Breaker, was the only guy under 30 to be in the War Games match, right? There's a lot of people go, well, you got to pay your dues. So that's my only worry, is I don't want him to be stuck in a tag team. So I would prefer almost just take it away. Your theory of people saying that could be right, but just do AJ and Javon actually. Like, just take me that. Like, I know they've been trying to do the Slater thing maybe, but yeah. So Javon and something. I've been trying to think about what woman. Obviously, for me, it's just like.
I feel like if they have to get one woman, I feel like it's probably Sol Ruka.
Yeah, I would love it to be.
I would have it be like Charlotte.
Like yeah, Charlotte I could see that. I would love even with Charlotte. I would love to be Charlotte and Blake. I know she's champ right now, but like, and it's a while for her call up. I imagine, but still, like, let's see what she does. Like, let's like throw her in the hot water, do that mirror entrance on Saturday Night's main event, like that like Charlotte versus, and she can lose to Charlotte and be fine. She can lose like Charlotte being NXT Blake Monroe, Mariah Ray is like
Charlotte
that's completely fine
from AEW.
Well, and even then, right? They were in that camp. Yeah, like there's just something like
I
like,
well, that's the people that think people have like lined up when she was like. In that vlog, she's saying like she was unhappy with like
I remember
how she was being booked, and then like a week later she was with Charlotte like in that thing. So
yeah, so no, I like Charlotte and Blake Monroe. Like Sol Ruka, you might be right there. Grace is always an option too because she's dabbled main roster a little bit, but I'm kind of hoping for Blake. I think that'd be fun. And then if it's another person, I'm trying to
If it
think.
was one more person, I'd like. I feel like if you want to get someone big on the show, like you would do either like Punk or Cody against like Ricky.
Ooh, yeah, I guess you could. That'd be huge to do. Yeah, world
Punk and
champions
Ricky would
NXT.
be good.
Punk and Ricky finally get the Chicago fall all out we never got. That, or I would love. My only problem with my last pick is I'd want to be Oba. I just don't know who you'd pair him
That's
with because
why.
I'd have
Yeah.
Oba win it. I wouldn't have him lose, but I'm just trying to think. Like to me, it would be per like I would go like
I'd do, like,
Randy and
Oba
Oba, but
I would say like Oba and like Randy Oba or like, but then I don't know if I mean Randy does kind of lose a lot these days, but
oh yeah,
I
they
feel
don't
like,
care about Randy
I
right
feel
now.
like if you did like if you want to get like that like big meaty match, it'd be Oba and Sheamus.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I could
And
see
Oba could
that,
beat
and because they've
Sheamus.
worked on a house show, right? An NXT house show a couple times, I think. Right, that was something, or they did like a triple threat.
I think Sheamus and Jovan had like a match on a
Oh,
NXT house show. Oba had
okay,
that. I think they
okay.
did Oba and Rusev on an NXT house show. But
Yeah, I don't know if I.
but that was like months ago. I don't think
Yeah.
that was like planning for Saturday Night's Main Event.
No, yeah, but those would be my three. I have Oba, Blake, and Javon. Those are the three I'd like up there with some combination, and I want one of them to win. I don't want it just be a
Yeah.
clean sweep. And then if that person wins, then like I said, have Oba get a big win, and then Rumble time,
Yeah,
he's
'cause
called
that would
up.
be,
You know,
'cause that would be after, because deadline is this like Saturday.
right? Yeah,
So then that would be the week after. So I assume we probably get these match announcements like either, I don't think this week, like, I mean, maybe it depends. I mean, they've already sold the place out. They don't need to
Yes.
like sell
No.
more
Yeah.
tickets. So I feel like they'll probably announce it on next
you could put
week's
Lexus King
NXT.
versus somebody,
Yeah.
and you're fine. You know,
Yeah. So I feel like they'll probably announce it after deadline. That probably depends too on like who wins those matches as well.
yeah.
I guess
No,
we
I
could
agree.
do like a mini prediction there of who wins those deadline matches. I feel like
What's the lineup again for both of them?
I can read them
I
off
gotta hear
here.
that
Um,
before
where
I can
is
make a
it?
full educated guess. And I can't remember. Does the winner gets a title shot, right?
Yeah, New
Yeah.
Year's Evil. I can read them off here. So for the
Okay.
men, it's Javon, Leon Slater, Joe Hendry, Dion Lennox, and Miles Bourne.
Probably the fucking Dark State guy's gonna get it right. I just feel
Yeah.
like Ricky's a babyface. He's the heel. I feel like he's gonna do a sneak. Yeah, because they get it right away. So I'm gonna say the Dark State guy due to some shenanigans, unfortunately. But
I agree.
And then for the women, it's Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka, Jordan Grace, Lola Vice, and Kendall Gray.
get fucking Jordan Grace out of there already. Get into the main roster. My God,
Man,
that was a tougher one for me to call to. Because it's Kalani's, she's not NXT or TNA champion anymore, right?
No, she's not.
no.
That's, but I guess that's two. Is she heel technically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be two heels.
I
Sol
kind of feel
Ruka.
like they really want to show. I feel like depends because I don't think JC would lose it necessarily like to this person who wins this match. So I kind of feel like they're really putting a spotlight on Kendall Gray. I could see her winning this and then losing the title match.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I think Kendall Gray, or I'd say Sol Ruka if they're planning like to fully strap her up. Like if Jace
Yeah.
Jane is gonna lose it, then she'd be the person.
Yeah,
So-
I was thinking Sol Ruka because
I can see
isn't Kendall Gray still Evolve champion? Like, I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
have your Evolve champion win this and then lose
the
in the
AW
title match.
method.
Yeah, so I'd go with Sol Ruka.
Yeah, I think unless it is just like I guess an easy win for JC Jane and
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a lot of ladies. JC Jane who's been up there for a long time. Jordan Grace, like I'm hoping Rumble. It's like let's get like a bunch of these people up here, you know. But I guess
Yeah.
we'll see. So.
I mean, this year's Rumble, it kind of like the NXT people who were in it were all the ones who got called up besides Jada Parker. And Jada
Yeah.
Parker hasn't been on TV in like, I don't know how long. I feel like she was like feuding with Lash Legend and like cost her a couple matches. And then I think they got told they were calling up Lash Legend. And then that storyline was just like completely dropped. And like Jada Parker wasn't on TV again. But I was going to say this year's Rumble, like the NXT people who were in it were Julia, Stephanie, Roxanne, Lash, and Jada Parker.
Yeah, it's always bigger. It's always bigger names and stuff. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
still confident with Soul. I'm sticking with Soul for now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
yeah. I guess we'll
Okay.
see. Well, on other predictions, then, if we're going to the AW side here, so we got the Continental Classic that started. We got the Blue League, which is John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, the new CMLL World Champion, Kenoshi Takeshita, Roderick Strong, Mascara Dorado, and Orange Cassidy. And then the Gold League is Okada, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kyle Fletcher, Kevin Knight, Pac, and Darby Allin. Obviously, some of these matches happened. I've still not watched any of them. I'm going to catch up all on Tuesday. Obviously, I've seen the result, but yeah, I liked this field. I think we kind of talked about it in the Discord. I do feel like with this field, I guess we can talk about a few things too with the title lineage and everything. It sucks because I wish in name the Owen Hart Cup Classic or whatever was this because this is like their version of the G1, right? But the problem is it's just like they win this weird fucking title that we don't like. We win the Continental Classic, but it's like now there's undisputed title. This whole lineage thing we've talked about many times. I won't rant, and everyone feels the same. It's dumb. TK, it's dumb. It's like they should have just did undisputed title, and now all those titles, like this tournament is for that title. And even then, it does feel weird. Where especially some years, I feel like it's been like okay, half the. I guess it's maybe like that. I was gonna say just half the people are main event guys and half them are not. And I guess that's kind of it, all right? Like
I mean,
Mox is the
every
main
year,
guy.
like last year, you had like Commander and like the Beast
Yeah.
Mortos and stuff like that.
I
And
guess
you would
this
just,
year
take
definitely
pin
feels-
after pin.
There's definitely still like mid carders, right? Like Bailey, Kevin Knight, like Dorado. Like there's mid carders, but it just feels like, especially storyline wise, like Fletcher, Okada, Moxley, Claudio, Takeshita, even Cassidy, Pac, and Darby Allin. It feels like there's more main event talent than there's ever been in there. So that's where it's just like, what are you gonna win? You're just gonna win this title that's been on Okada's shelf for the past couple months. Like that's just a problem within itself.
Yeah.
Like we said before, like give it something where it's a number one spot in a gauntlet. Make it, I've said, just a trophy. It should be a title match, but the problem is then it's like, then what's the Owen, right? Because it's like the Owen, that's supposed to be the big
Yeah, it's
thing.
like,
is
this
now
is
you
like
get a
way
title
harder
match.
to win than
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
This is so much harder to win than the Owen is like, you just got to win 3 matches. Where this is like, you got to beat multiple guys. You got to go to a semifinals, a finals. But I love the lineup. I was very happy by Kevin Knight because I have not seen much of Kevin Knight before. And then when he wrestled that, it was Ospreay in another match he had where it's like, I love this guy. And so I'm really hoping they give him a big win on Darby. And that's why I love that they're giving people big wins to start the tournament. So I really hope now that, I don't know if Jet Speed's really happening anymore, I hope this kind of propels him. Pac, I'm excited to see in here. And I'm surprised they're doing it next week, but Moxley versus Claudio is going to be super interesting. And to me,
I have
Claudio's...
two ideas on what could happen with this match. I think option one is Claudio just beats him.
Claudio got to beat him, in my opinion. But
I feel like there's the other option I could see is like instead of Moxley having like the losing streak, which I mean they're not doing because he beat like Dorada. I feel like I don't think he's just gonna go 0 for 0.
Yeah.
But the other option, Claudio just beats him, or I could see them going to a draw here, and they end up like in their semifinal, like at World's End.
yeah, I could see that. And that's where, semifinal, whatever, because I was surprised, which luckily you reminded me that, and I hope they do this storyline that Fletcher beat Okada last year, and then he beat him this year. I would love it if Okada's story with Fletcher is he's the one guy who has his number for some reason. This fucking, Will Ospreay's trainee just like can just always beat Okada, and Okada doesn't know what it is. But I still feel like the finals of this, in my opinion, gotta be Takeshita and Okada. Like, if it's not that, because that's the story, right? Okada's like the tournament wrestler.
Like, I don't know if like, because then would you have, I guess, would you have Takeshita win, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, that's the story, right? Is you're building up to this, and then you beat the ultimate tournament wrestler in a tournament. Because, like, what? He won this, and then what? Didn't Okada, has he won like 3 G1s, I think? Or am I even under, like, how many finally won Okada?
Yeah. My only issue with this is that for as many wrestlers as AEW has, like, I get having both Takeshita and Okada in there because, again, you've got the tournament wrestler versus, his rival on the other side.
4 wins, by the way, for Okada in the G1. 4 wins.
Over half of this, or at least half of the participants, are either Don Callis family or Death Riders, and then you've got another grouping
fair.
here, another tag team here, with the exception of Darby and Dorada. Like, there's nobody who's just a solo riding person. So you've got all these teams and things like that, like diversified a little bit. I get the fun
That's a
of,
good
oh,
point.
these two guys are on the same team, but you got 3 different members of the Death Riders. You got 3 different members of the Don Callis family. Like, it's just so
Two
over.
conglomeration members.
Yeah, 2 conglomeration.
And even
Then
Darby's
you've got
just interacting with them so much. Like, he's not
Yeah.
the Death Rider, but like he's Death Rider adjacent, you know.
Yeah.
Kevin Knight and Speedball and another one. Like, it doesn't make sense the way that you have all of these set up.
Yeah,
So
no, that's a fair point.
That's
And
my only thing. Diversify your people. And to your point about this versus the Owen, like, when you win the Owen, like, you have the tournament, you get a belt, you get to stand next to a trophy, you get a
Owen's
title
late
shot, you have all this other stuff. Like, I think that this should be, since you get a ceremonial belt in the time with Dr. Martha Hart, and then you get a title shot from there.
At All In too, your biggest event of the year. Don't forget. You know?
I think this should be their trophy thing as well. So if you want to have the Continental title travel with whoever wins, but I think like how with the G1 you have them posing with the trophy at the end.
I love the big trophy. Sometimes it's
I
just so,
I think this should be the trophy one. Either one should be a trophy, the other one the title shot, or the title, or you could flop them, and this is the title shot, and the Owen is the trophy. Either way,
I think we all have that agreement that in retrospect they should have flipped them. I imagine they weren't thinking
the
about
Owen
this
is
all.
just so heavy on awards, and then you're like,
Yeah.
here's this big tournament that is our version of the G1 where
you break your back over to win, and here's like a belt that, like I said, hasn't been defended since All In. It's just
Yeah.
been there, and that's the thing with this whole lineage thing. And yeah, so I guess Takeshi's gonna beat him, but then technically Okada
Okada still gets his Wrestle Kingdom main event.
Well, yeah, that. But doesn't he? No, he has
He would still have the international.
Yeah, his
title.
Yes.
international, which again,
And then the unified title would just like cease to exist.
yeah, which I guess he'll get busted out the next time someone has these specific 2
Yeah.
belts, or is it any 2
Yeah.
belts?
I think it's
I don't
just
know.
Is it any 2 belts? Is this like a tier 1, tier 2 belt?
Yeah.
Like, what's the combination here?
Does Claudio get it for being CML champion and trio? Like if he gets
Like,
the trios back, So.
If Kyle Fletcher wins
even
and
Samoa Joe.
has TNT and this, does he get the unified title? Like, how
Well,
does
look at
this
Joe.
work?
We forgot about Joe, right? He's a double champ right now. He's trios and world champ. He should have
Yeah.
the undisputed title. Go shelve it. Just who knows? And also, I will say because he's not in this, because we're talking about titles again, man. I haven't watched yet, but I saw a clip of Ricochet and this country music singer, and it's like, man, they're giving Ricochet like. Thank God he's going to wrestle, but like he's just got a bad couple weeks of TV, man. I don't feel bad because I think he's happier because like I think he did want to just like wrestle some longer stuff, which he's happening in AEW. But it's just like this North American Championship is just like it's dead. It's deader than dead, and we just got it. Like I hope that it's cool for indie. I hope like they'll use it on independent circles where like, oh cool, you got an AEW champion here, but. Yeah, we'll see. And I do think, because we told us the Discord that, Roddy Strong probably sucks that Kyle Riley's not on this because he was having some like good momentum. That would have been good. And I do wonder if this is long term, but I do wonder if Dorada, TK likes him, but I wonder if this was Andrade's spot. And I really do feel like it would have been Andrade's spot because
I was thinking about that yesterday.
Man, I would have loved
that was his
Andrade
last
in
time
this.
in AW. It was the Continental Classic. His last match was against Bryan, and he was great. He's great, and just go wrestle random dude Andrade, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that would have been him. All he's doing right now is just getting random fights with Dave Meltzer. You can look at that. It's just like the semantics of you said they and like just like wrestling arguments sometimes. Like, man, just put the thing down. Just don't go talk to your lawyer. Get out of there. Come back to AW. But yeah, and then the only thing we got Fallout was we got Swerve and Hangman. They're kind of teaming up to take on
Black
Austin.
Coat, Black Coat Hangman.
Yeah,
Don't
and he's
forget-
drinking too. Yeah, so
This is Black Coat Hangman, which means he's gonna switch up the theme song again. He's gonna swig a couple beers.
yeah, I'm curious what's gonna happen. I do kind of hope in the next 6 months he gets back to maybe being a heel and something happens. I don't know if they are going to fully do the Swerve Hangman run. They might. I could see that. But yeah, we kind of figured this. Abu on Selfmade, he's a scooper. He had reported that he had heard the same thing. So we were right that sounds like the ideas are going to do Joe, Hangman, and Swerve at the pay-per-view. But maybe MJF might. All he said, he's been told it's a 4-way. Didn't say who is. And it's like, well, we kind of know what's happening. It's going to be. And if this is it, we'll cut back to in December because likely what we'll do that December, January show will be a World's End review and our awards. If they do Swerve, Hangman, Joe, and MJF just wins the title, why did Hangman not just keep it? Why, like, it makes way more sense for MJF to get the cheap heel in a 4-way when the babyface is the champ. Not like what Joe, the heel, is losing. Like, unless MJF just pins Joe, I guess, and it's just definitive. Yeah. But like, I need to see what happens. This is a super weird thing. Like, I'll have to see it play out. Like, so not much more information, but now that's been rumored, just a weird way to get there. Just let Hangman hold it to December and then because the good thing is you can have MJF beat him, and then you got an insta like program for MJF and Hangman to do a rematch, and MJF can beat him again, right? Like, just I want to see how it plays out. I am very curious about Winter is Coming. They're doing Kingston versus Joe. We'll see what Kingston, because since he's been back, hasn't looked the greatest. Great promo on Joe, but that's what Eddie can do, right? So we'll see what happens. That's like the Gunther Solo thing, where this match could spiral out of control real bad of being just very meh. But I'll be there. I'll see what happens. But yeah, and then also to the ladies. Right now we're waiting on Marina and Bane versus Tony and Amina, which is like
hardcore holiday death match.
Yeah, which like you said, it was interesting when Will and Harley won. I kind of like that because one, it's either, and I'm always a sucker for babyface versus babyface, so I'm fine if it's Tony and Mina versus those two. But I'm also fine if Tony doesn't get there, and if it's Megan and Marina, like one of these 4 ladies gets to hold like a first time thing. You know, like Tony's gonna be over no matter what. So I would like it if it's Marina and Bane in the finals. I would kind of like them to win. I know it sucks for 4 to sit there and watch them get the win, but I really like I said, Marina's really come to her own. I think it'd be good to give Bane like a first time thing, but I don't know what I don't have a prediction yet. Do you guys have a prediction of who's going to actually win the thing? Obviously, we don't know the finals yet, but we got the 3 teams.
I'm hoping Megan Bane's team, because I like how much of a powerhouse they've been making her look, but it's kind of hard to say right now. I mean, they've been giving all the teams a lot of shine, so it's not like there's been one team that's just been dominant either in ring or by commentary bigging them up to really see who's in the best position to win. Like, oh, you could tell they're the favorite. But I think for Megan Bane's presentation, having them go over would be the best.
Yeah. What about you guys, Bubs?
Yeah, it's like you said, like, I feel like from the start our predictions were that it was going to be Tony and Mina. But then, yeah, I would say I kind of agree. I would want Bane and Marina to go all the way to the end and win those titles. I feel like with there being a lot of face teams, it could be better to have the heels be the first.
Yeah.
And then have one of those other teams then beat them down the line.
And they can always win it later too, like Tony and Mina. Like at any time, you can have them win.
But
they used to in WWE. They used to do that with those UK tournaments. They always had like the person you thought would win lose, and later on they won because like they're like Pete Dunne or Rhea. It's like they're already over. They'll get it at some point, you know.
So yeah, I feel like really between I don't think it's Willow and Harley.
I agree.
But I think it could be either Mina and Tony or Bane and Marina.
And if it's Will and Harley, then they need to get like those puppets made for like they need to start going, because I know people like Harley, but yeah, I agree that I don't think it's them. But you never know. Maybe this is TK's thing of like he does really like Willow, and like I'm gonna give her something here, right? So I don't know. I don't think so, but you never know with these bookers. Sometimes when they wake up and like what they're thinking that day of.
Yeah, they got a whole tag team name and everything. So I mean,
I mean they all have. I guess besides Marina and Bane, the other two have tag team names.
Yeah, well, I mean, so we had Mercedes and Athena. They didn't have a tag team name. Queen Amanada, Jamie Hayter. So Sisters of Sin, Babes of Wrath, and the Timeless Love Bombs are the only ones really with a actual
And
tag team
TJ.
name. I don't count them as a tag team name. That's just two homies being homies.
Yeah. Anything else we haven't touched upon? Touched upon World Title, Continental Classic, Tag Team.
I mean, it kind of
anything
seems like Statlander's next challenger is gonna be Thekla.
Right, yeah. I'm
'Cause
excited.
They did like
I'm
a stare down with like the triangle of madness, and like they were the ones in
Yeah.
the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we get. I hope we on the way get Statlander versus Sky, and then Julia. And Julia and Statlander like have some history, so I think that'd be fun. And yeah, Tekla makes sense. I am curious because she saved. What I really want is throw me a freaking bone here already. Just have Hater turn heel, and give me just a 3-month program of Chris and Hater just going at it. Like have Hater beat her, and then Chris win it back. I was kind of hoping that was going to happen when Chris saved her on AEW. So I'm hoping that's the next thing because I just hate her again, just flounder. But Tekla and Chris, I think that'll be a good match. I think they'll have like a good style because Chris will be the powerful, and then Tekla will just be the striker and weird spider cross bodies and everything, and move on to the next one. So.
Tekla is really short too. I feel like I hadn't really noticed that until like the blood and guts match.
Yeah, when she did the face to face, and you're like, oh, she's looking up.
Because I just got because obviously this is long term. I just want to see what is the next pay per view after World's End, because I know we got Rumble.
I think Revolution.
Is it Revolution? That's not till March though, right? There's like a
there
long
might be like a
break?
Grand Slam in there, like Grand Slam Australia.
Oh right, yeah. Let's see. Let's see how that goes this
House
year.
rules.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they have no dates listed for anything in 2026 yet, other than All In at August 30th, which obviously they're just waiting on Ospreay to see.
Grand Slam Australia, February 14, 2026.
Okay, so you could even have Tony win the tag titles there, right? You could delay it till that. Like now that date is on there, you could
that's
really.
not a pay-per-view, I guess, but it's still like a big event.
They make it to be like a TV
Yeah.
special, right? And then if you have that as the main event, right? Tony and Mina versus, Bane and Shavir, then that could work. So okay, so then there'll be a big break because we'll get the Rumble, but then won't get till Revolution, so we'll have to see. So that's the plan. We'll be back for Cena's last match. So also we'll talk about Cena's last match and all the other matches there. We'll talk about whatever's happening. We'll do a update at that point because we'll probably be closer to knowing what is. Well, I guess it'll be midway. I guess we'll have some ideas with Continental Classics. We'll talk about that. And then, whatever else pops up. So that'll be the next time. It's likely December 14th, unless something crazy happens. But always look out for social media or Patreon. Try to announce it on there when the time is. So, this was fun. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me as always. Oh, and I guess we will be back at some point. December's a little busy, as we said. GM mode will probably start up again. We'll do there'll be a couple of months. We'll do like a make good of do 2 in a month or whatnot. Once the holidays are over, there'll be a lot more time and stuff. So we got the wrestling one to do. We got to finish season 3, and then we'll go on to season 4. And then by that time, we'll have to see if 2000 or 26 anything happens, if there's anything new and whatnot. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back after Cena's last match, and we promise you it will not be boring.